Welcome to another edition of In Between the Pages with James Lott Jr. I am James Lott Jr. I am a musician, songwriter, spoken word artist, and host. And I'm bringing on people from all walks of life who all do things that have to do with writing and singing. And I have a singer-songwriter I'm bringing on. And he's a little newer on the scene, but his song is really good. I'm going to try to play a snippet of it after we introduce you to him. LA-based singer-songwriter. He has music that the song that we're going to talk about this. It sounds like stuff that I kind of grew up with, actually. So I connected with the song because it sounds like that. I'm going to ask him what his influences are. The song is called Top of the Hill. It's out right now. Zachbrandon Official is the website. Zachbrandon. Hi, Zach.
How's it going?
Good. I'm going to try to play a piece of this song for folks, if I can. Let's do this. Did you play guitar also, correct?
Yeah, I played every guitar on the album.
I wake up every morning with crippling fear that pursuing my dreams will not lead to anything.
He wrote the song too, right?
I did.
But the people I trust say to just play it safe. You don't have to love your job just so long as it pays out most great. But I'm on my way.
So I wanted to play a snippet of that, and that is Top of the Hill, and I like it.
Thank you very much.
I'm following you on Spotify too now. I'm following you on Spotify. All the Spotify friends. So first of all, before you get to the song, how are you doing during this weird time period? I'm kind of asking everybody that when I start.
I personally am doing great. You know, it's not a huge change from my daily routine. I like the indoors. I have fair skin, so I definitely
a little light.
Yeah, a little. And I wear sunscreen, all that stuff, and so it's not that different, but it's been a little tough, getting the groceries. I have my dad who lives also in LA. I do his grocery shopping for him and make sure he's staying safe, and he's being a difficult dad, not wanting to wear the mask, not wearing the glove. You can't teach an old dog new tricks,
No, you can't. That's a lot of fun.
So it's definitely been a lot. I bike there, like to his house every morning. It's 16 miles round trip, which is great for me too. Feels good.
That's great.
But I go there, check on him, check on my dog, and do some shopping and cleaning around the house if he needs it. And, but it's been really nice, actually.
You're a good son. A good son.
Thank you very much.
It's like, yeah, I'll tell you, them old folks. Whew, I'm fine with my parents too. Fine with them too.
It's like, he sent me a photo, me and my brother, like as if we should be proud of him. He has the mask here, and we're like, Dad, what are you doing? He's like, it was more comfortable this way. I'm like, come on.
Yes.
Yeah.
You love them. We love them.
Yeah.
And I'm an old person myself, and I'm not like that. Like I tell you all the time, I like that.
Hey, good for you.
Yes.
He's a good dad, though.
So we're talking music. One of the things that has changed right now, there's no live venue action. Like you can't go out and perform anywhere. That is all shut down right now. And for the unforeseeable future, we have no idea how it's going to open up. But like all the bars and clubs are closed. Mm-hmm. It must be a great time because you put out some music. You want to go out there and kind of perform it, don't you?
Well, for me, the whole reason I'm in music and why I love it so much is I love connecting with people, and I love impacting people and making people feel like they're not alone in what they're going through and their journeys through their life. And I do that through my music. So yeah, it is pretty difficult for me to not be able to play, aside from the fact that it is so much fun for me and I love playing. Like I said, I played every guitar on this album, and I've been playing music my whole life, different instruments, and I just love playing music. But the part about connecting with people, it's been tough. It's not easy to just know that everyone's going through this alone, like alone.
Right.
We have Instagram, we have all these things, but there's nothing like being in a venue. I know from before I was in music, it's such like a, would ethereal be the right word? An ethereal experience? Is
It
that the
can be,
wrong?
yes. It could be an adjective.
Like, yeah, like I'm trying, I can't think of the word, but it's just such a great.
It's almost an out of body experience when you go
Exactly.
on.
That's the kind of feeling I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
To go see someone live and see someone that like really loves what they're doing, and that's kind of what I try to do. So I'm really excited for everything to get back to normal.
Yeah,
But,
me too. Me too. As I'm a musician also, and I like to get out there and
yeah,
be the people. Be the people. I like that.
yeah. Even playing to one person versus I've never played to thousands, but I've played to hundreds, and it's always the same. It's always you're talking to one other person at a time, and yeah, it's just a great experience, and I miss it.
That's a good point. That it doesn't matter. I always say to people when I release music, if one person loves the album or loves the song, that's still gratifying because as people don't know out here, some may or may not know, we know the road that got to that song. We know the road that got to that album. One of the things for me, I remember, because I'm releasing my 5th album actually coming out
Wow.
in a couple weeks. But I remember that first album, it was like, so how do you pick songs for an album? Because I had a bunch of songs, and my producers we had little note cards, and we're like listening to them, and like, does this fit with this one? And what kind of journey do I? It's a lot. I didn't know this. It's a lot of hard work. Now I get it. It's a lot of hard work.
A lot
to
of
put
work.
together an album. You think it'd be easy? Well, I recorded 10 songs, just throw them together. But then, like, what order they should go in?
The order. Oh God. Like,
talk about that because your album. Talk about that.
Well, yeah. Well, so I guess I'll just talk about Charlie Midnight and Jan Fairchild. I guess it's a good start to the discussion. So I'll kind of give you my whole I'll talk for a couple minutes about this string, if that's okay. I'll give you my whole little story.
We're here for you. We're here. It's you. You're the spotlight. So you tell me.
So growing up, I grew up in LA, born and raised, not in an entertainment family. My dad came from Brooklyn. Both of his parents were Holocaust survivors. Like, he was a grocery store guy. He was like a checkout guy, and he moved to LA and he became a pilot for Southwest. My mom was a teacher for special ed in the Valley. She grew up here. And I was born and raised in LA. I have an older brother, and I grew up playing soccer a lot. That was like my big passion. I actually, at one point, I thought I was going to play pro. Like, I played in college, and I really thought that was what I wanted. But, looking back, it was always music for me. I'd played piano for a few years growing up, and then from 7 to 10, and then drums for like the 4 years after that, and then guitar from 16, 17 till now. But
it's rare that you're an LA native. Like, I'm LA native.
I know. Yeah.
I'm first generation LA native. My mother's from New York City.
Okay.
And so I know exactly. So it's kind of weird. We are Los Angeles. Like, you
get a different perspective on the city.
Yes. And I can tell that song, which I'll talk in a second, that's very LA to me.
Thank you.
As you're saying.
No, it's okay. But while I was playing all these instruments and I was writing, my mom got sick when I was 16, and she passed away when I was 16. Oh, wow. She had a brain tumor. She had brain cancer. Oh, wow. And I was writing, during that period. That was when I first really started writing, but I never really wrote my lyrics down or wrote my music down or anything like that. It was just for fun. But then going into my sophomore year of college, I had hip surgery, which I recovered from. And then a year later, I hurt my back. I herniated 2 discs to my back, and I've never been the same since. But throughout everything, I was always playing music. It was always what I landed on. And I decided going into my senior year of college to actually pursue music as a career. And so I started writing my lyrics, writing my music, and then I tried to make an album, and it's like one of those things that nobody's gonna hear.
Yes.
But so I did that.
But wait a minute a second. Let's stop there for a second. So you're in college. What were you studying in college?
Real estate.
There you go. So you're studying that. So you're doing that. So you're in this whole other world. Clearly, this other world. And you said you decided you're gonna go do music full time. Was that a hard decision? Was that
It was the easiest decision I've ever made in my life.
Okay.
For in here, like in my heart.
That's what I'm asking.
So, I mean, real estate for me felt like it was always a safe bet. I was always good at numbers, and like, you know, everybody on planet Earth is always like, oh, well, real estate, that's a great field to get into. But, you know, and true story, I was sitting in my cubicle at my internship going into my senior year, and I was like, I need to do something I love. I don't love this. I'm sad. I was sad, like, you know, all my classes, like I got B's. I just floated by. I like never tried. That's not to say like school is easy for me, but
oh yeah, I'm sure.
I would always procrastinate and then, but I didn't love it. I wasn't as interested in it as I was music. And so when I decided, I remember exactly, I was like reading a deed, like a real estate deed.
Yeah.
I was like reading over a contract for my boss. I know exactly where I was sitting, and I was wearing this pink shirt. I remember the day clear, and I was like, I'm going to do music. And I went home that day and like I started writing, and my job was done in 2 weeks. So I stayed. I would have stayed no matter what, because like I made a promise to my boss. Like I had a responsibility to him. So I definitely stayed and I finished my degree in real estate. But anyways, I'm getting a little off topic. So then
I wouldn't know that. I just kind of because you just don't all of a sudden, I'm going to do music. I mean, it's not, I want people to know it's not always an easy decision.
You don't, but I did.
Yeah.
That's what happened. It was like a TV show that doesn't have enough time in the episode to explain the process. Yeah. I literally was sitting there and I said, I'm going to do music. And within from that to my first show that like all my friends came to, and they were all really drunk, you know, but it was like 6 weeks. Wow. And I had like 4 or 5 or 6 original songs, and like 2 or 3, I played like a Jimi Hendrix cover and some other songs. But like I hit the ground running.
Wow.
And so then fast forward like a year after that, it was like the summer after college ended for me. And I was just gigging a lot, and I didn't really know what I was doing. And somehow, you know, Charlie Midnight, my partner, my eventual partner, came. He was just at one of my shows, and he just loved my stuff. He just thought that my lyrics were good. He thought that my voice was good. He just liked watching me. And my dad was at the show actually, and he like came up to me after, and he's like, yeah, this guy Charlie Midnight came up to me, and he said he really liked you and wanted to talk to you. And I was like, who's that? And he's like, look him up. And I like looked him up, and I'm like, I like saw one thing, and I'm like, oh, whatever. You know, everyone in LA like did this, did that. Charlie is a legend. So is Jan. Jan Fairchild is Charlie's partner, who's now my other partner, and they're both kind of like my second and third dad. They've become that for me, but we'll get into that later. But so Charlie loved the show, and then fast forward again. Now we're working. We wrote like 20 songs, 30 songs. Picked a couple out. Started working at Jan Fairchild's house. We started working on the demos, and then now to answer your question, finally.
Yes, I love it.
So we recorded the album. We finished the demos, and we decided to record the album. And it was the most awesome experience ever, especially the way that we did it, in my opinion, in my personal opinion.
How'd you guys do it?
So Charlie and Jan, they're actually both from Brooklyn too.
Love it.
Well,
New Yorkers. I love it.
Jen's from Staten Island, so it
My
doesn't
family's
really
from Brooklyn
count.
too. I know it's a whole BK in the house. I know Park Slope. I love it.
But
yeah, I know it's a different
they're
attitude.
very
Direct.
old school, like very like, put in the work, you put in the elbow grease and you do it. And so what we did was, like I said, we wrote and then we did the demos at Jan's house. And we spent a long, long time on that because we wanted to make sure I'm a very like deliberate and like I don't calculate it's not the right word, but like I can't leave a stone unturned. I will not get sleep for weeks if I think there might have been another option. It doesn't even have to be a better option. I just need to make sure it wasn't a better option.
Okay.
And so we spent a lot of time doing these demos, and we did I wrote all the guitar parts for the entire album pretty much, except we left some like spots for solos and stuff to like let it just happen.
Yeah.
But a lot of the parts we spent a lot of time working on. And then what that did was it gave us so much space to have fun in the studio. We weren't pressed for time because every night before I went into the studio, like we would talk, we would pick what parts of what songs we were going to do the next day.
Yeah.
I would listen to the Pro Tools sessions, listen to the parts and practice them. And I think it freed me up a lot, both in terms of like creativity and sort of my feel, because I went in there knowing what I was going to do. And it was the best experience ever. And
so yeah, as I understand this too, I mean, I remember putting this last album together that I did that came out last year. I had 30 songs also. I had like 30 songs.
Yeah.
And so how did you pick what's on the album? I guess better question maybe, what was the journey you wanted people to go on into this album?
That's a great question. The journey that I wanted people to go on, it wasn't, I don't know if I would call it as much of a journey as I would say sort of an expose into a real life. Okay. I don't want it wasn't about like sex, money, like being the coolest, being this. It's more like what a lot of my influences like came together to for me was the idea of songs that are fun if you don't think about the lyrics, but if you read the lyrics, like if you read it as like poetry, they're like, it kind of sheds life on the parts of life that we don't really talk about very much. And so the album is definitely like, it's about love and loss and the terrain of life. But I'd say it's more to connect with people and to make people feel like they're not alone. And so that was how I chose the songs. Like there's a song in there about when you can only remember the good parts about a relationship, or there's a song in there about how, I needed to take a turn to like change my course of life and kind of like a self-love kind of song. And there's Top of the Hill, which is about conquering, and it's about following your dreams. And even in the face of, I might not make it, but I love it.
Yeah. I like that. I do like that. So I get what you're saying. So this album was more about just showcasing yourself, showcasing parts of your life.
Exactly. And showcasing myself in a way that makes people say, wow, it's not just me.
Yeah. I understand that. I totally understand that. I do. Yeah. I understand that. But again, as we were saying, it was a little hard willing because they're all your babies. They're all your babies.
It was not easy. It was not easy.
Not easy. That was a revelation for me. And still, as I'm put my fifth album out, it was still just as hard as it was the first album. It was like, I don't know. That song could go on there. And I'm like, well, then is that too many songs? It's always that too. Is that too many songs in the album?
Well, how do you decide? How do you decide?
Well, and that's what I learned. I mean, I ultimately every album I put out, with my producers, they're like, well, James, you make the final decision. I mean, this is you're putting it out there. This is your name in front of
The
the.
worst thing you can hear as a musician. You make the decision.
I know. I was like, I like all of these songs. And they're like, I like this one. I like that one. They're like, no, James, it's good. You know, so anyway, so it's, and for me, I started changing direction a little bit in my music. Because you'll find as you keep going. Oh, you probably know already. So you probably don't write the same as you did a few years ago. Like you
no
live
way.
life. So I started changing direction a little bit. So it's kind of like, well, this is where I'm at now. So I probably should put that on the album. But this song was really good that I wrote a year ago. So it was very interesting. It was a revelation to me. I didn't realize that was going to be the hardest part. Making the music's fun. That part's fun.
Yeah.
I love being in the studio. You like being in the studio?
It is so much fun for me. Like, if I could live in there, I would.
Same here.
I cannot wait to have like a real studio. I hope that like one day I have a studio in my house.
You will.
And like we can do the things we do. Thank you. I mean, I hope so. So
you will. It's fun. Like I said, I have a makeshift studio and I have some stuff that I made here because I'm on TV and I do stuff. So it's kind of like, I got a nice big house. I have room, so you can do it. So you're gonna do it. You're gonna have that one day.
Thank you.
I want to actually talk about Top of the Hill actually because that's the song that I've heard. And so I'm gonna tell you this because I'm a little older than you are. And I remember the 70s and 80s. As my birthday approached.
That was when you turned 50, right?
Yes, exactly. Actually, I'll be 51 in 3 weeks.
Really?
In 3 weeks.
You look great.
I just shaved my face. Thank you. I'm trying.
What kind of moisturizer do you use?
I use lots of water. I drink lots of water, everybody. Water.
Hydrate everybody.
Seriously, water. And I use a lot of philosophy products. And they're good for men. I moisturize all the time. I tell people, men should moisturize.
Yeah, maybe we can get them to sponsor you.
I'm trying. Zach, I'm trying. I want them to. I keep tagging them and stuff. They like my product. They like my film, my photos, but they haven't.
They're keeping you on a string.
You know who sponsors me? Like Barefoot Bubbly. All the booze sponsor me. Barefoot Bubbly and the other. I mean, they all sponsor me. All the wine sponsors me, which I'm not upset about. But
yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, but it ages you. I want the good stuff like the.
That's why you drink so much water. Counteract it.
Exactly. So this song reminded me. I'm gonna say some names that I'm sure you've heard already before. It reminds you of the
Beyonce. I know.
Yeah, you ready? You ready? The Eagles, James Taylor.
Thank you.
Linda Ronstadt, and they of course they're all related because they're all the Eagles were running Ronstadt's backup band. It reminds me a little bit of Jackson Browne. It reminds me of that. And now you said you're a native Los Angeles, which I didn't realize that. I knew you were from. I wasn't sure you were from here.
Yeah.
Now that makes sense. You have that L.A. rock country pop feel that was so prevalent back then. And there's a few people like John Mayer kind of does it now. A few people do it, but it was very prevalent back then. When I say those people to you, obviously you know they're legends, but did you know who they were when you were kind of growing up?
That's a huge honor to me to be in a conversation where those names are brought up and my name is brought up. You know, John Mayer is like a huge influence on me. He is the one person I can say I've consistently listened to from forever, like for my whole life. I think he's an incredible writer, and then an incredible guitar player. I just think he's an amazing artist. And then the Eagles, it's funny that you mentioned that because the Eagles and James Taylor are my two other biggest influences, which I think more than anything is like that pays, the fact that you brought those names up pays like an homage to them, not to me, because it means they did their job. I think it means that they were so in their zone and in their lane, no pun intended, Eagles.
All puns intended. All puns intended.
I wrote that one down actually before this.
I love it.
I think it just pays homage to them and how prominent their influence is in the world. So when I hear those names, the question was, what do I think when I hear those names? I like really appreciate that you hear that, because it means that
Well, you know, James Taylor was one especially who took his life and put it in music. I mean, he literally lived his life in music. So you
Oh my
said
God.
that's one of your goals is to share parts of your life in the music. Well, he did that.
That's more than anything to me, like when you were talking about before about how gratifying it is that if one person loved your album, you know, to me, more than anything, I just want to affect people. I want, like, sometimes I get messages and I get, you know, comments and this and that about like, wow, like this meant a lot for me. Like someone from, it wasn't Nigeria, it was somewhere on that continent, and I can't remember where, but he's like, I've been listening to this every day. It like is helping me with like get through this. And it's like there's not like no amount of money, no amount of fame that can equal that. And you know, you get all the like devils on your shoulder
Yeah.
and the people saying like, oh, you know, you're gonna get like tired of it and you're gonna stop signing autographs and you're gonna, you know, but that's not me. It's never been me, you know, and I can point to a lot of people that have also stayed humble, you know, like Chris Martin,
Yes.
not let alone as a musician, just as a person, has also been a huge inspiration to me. I think he's so cool. Like, I really do. And I would love to meet him one day.
Well, you know what's funny? You say that because I've been in business 13 years. I've been around the block. I've met it and seen it all. And you're right. There are a lot of folks who do stay authentic and stay humble. I met Bono twice, and of U2, and he was one of the nicest people, most down to earth people you could meet.
Yeah.
And it's funny because my opening line was, I found we had the same birthday. It was like really weird. So my
You and
opening line
me?
was him and me and Bono.
Oh, you and him.
So I said to him, I go, Bono. I said, hi. He's like, hi. And I go, I just want to tell you, we have the same birthday, May 10th. He's like, oh, yeah, like May 10th. And we started talking about that. It was the opening line.
And it wasn't his birthday.
It was his birthday. Same birthday as mine. We had the same birthday.
It actually was.
It was. Oh, so we talked about that. That was the opening line, and he was so gracious about it and so funny about it. And like, yeah, May 10th. And I go, May 10th, you know. I go, do you believe in the Taurus stuff? And we started laughing, and he's a little older than I am, but we're just kind of like laughing about that. But like, he's still the superstar guy who he could buy and sell me 5 times over, you know. But he was like, I met him twice, and he was nice each time, just like down to earth and nice. And so I try my best to always, I get recognized on the street sometimes like that. I try best to like stay just like, because all of it really in the long run is, I mean, it's whatever it is, right?
Exactly.
You're here for the music. You're here to do the music. You're not here for the adulation. I mean, that's just a byproduct, but you're here for the music, right?
Yeah, like one of the things I've said, I don't know why I sort of hooked on to this image in my head, but when I first started and people were like, what are you doing this for? I was like, you know, I want to like decide one night that the next morning I'm going to go walk or run a 5K to support, you know, autism awareness or, you know, whatever. And the next day have 5,000 people show up and I'll walk the whole thing and talk to whoever wants to come up to me. Like, that to me is success. It's not about, you know, I don't care if like paparazzi or drivers or private planes or what. It's just about, I just want to make a difference. You know, I want to have a voice in people's lives and help get through, you know, this crazy daily life we have, not just now, but every day forever.
So the question is, how do songs come to you?
I mean, you're a songwriter.
I started laughing like you do. I mean, it's a loaded question, but I mean, you know what I mean? It's a broad, I mean, I'm just curious, like, they come to me in many different ways. So I'm just curious, what ways do songs come to you?
They come in all different ways to me. I mean, in terms of my writing process, I definitely write music first. Like, I'm not the type of person, I do have a notes app, like every other artist.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I do have all these thoughts on it.
Oh yeah, I have one.
But I won't write like a poem and then put music to it. For me, the emotion of stuff comes through my guitar. And so I'll write just like parts. I might write just a verse And then like I will go through, to me, my notes app and all those ideas are kind of ammo. It's kind of like a plug and play thing where it's like, oh, does this like line kind of fit this vibe? No, let me try the next one. And then once I get one, I'm like, I'm going to write a song around this lyric. And that's kind of how it works for me.
I had for the first time, I've been doing this for years, for the first time, I dreamt a melody.
That's pretty cool.
And I woke up. Now, mind you, when you first wake up, I have a deep voice, as you can tell. When I'm not awake yet, it's like even deeper and just like and gravelly. But I want to get the melody out so bad. So I woke up and rolled over to my phone, to the voice recorder app, and I was just like, I'm trying to get it out. I'm trying, because I wasn't fully awake, but it woke me up. So I'm like, I tried, because I want to wake up later and figure it out. I can always figure it out, get it out. But I was like, get the gist of the story out. I was laughing because it was so, my voice, like, come on, voice, hold it. Where are the honey sticks? Where are the honey sticks? I pulled together. But that was the first time that happened to me, where I've dreamt words. I've dreamt a few things here and there, but I never dreamt a melody before. That was the first time that ever happened.
That's pretty cool. They say most people can't actually like close their eyes and picture things. I didn't know that. And then I'm not going to do it right now because I'm a little idiot. But yeah. But my dad one time, he told me this story. So I don't know if it's actually true, but he told me he went to a mall and he put his arm out and he got someone to like, he was like, I bet you can't close your eyes and go like this around my arm for 20 seconds. And they did it, and he walked away and just left. And someone just
Now I want to try that, of course. Now I want to go out there and try it. I'm a smart ass. I want to go out and try it somewhere. That's hilarious.
My dad is a king prankster. I got me and my brother on a vacation one time. We got a fart machine and we would walk by people and press the fart. We did everything. I put saran wrap in front of my mom's door. No. I put saran wrap. I was in probably 6th grade, and I found out about this. So I put saran wrap on my door, and then I put saran wrap under her toilet seat. So she went and she peed, and it didn't go well. And she knew it was me because I'm the second son. I was very mischievous.
Yes.
So she's walking, like moms walk. Yes. Boom, right into the one in my door because I knew she was going to come to my room. I was definitely a second child.
Yes, you are a second. You are definitely a second child. Yeah. They're bad. Oh, that's funny. Well, we're guys. I love a good fart joke. I can't help it. I'm 50 years old, and I love talking about.
You know what? Girls like a good fart joke too.
They do. They do.
Joke.
You're right.
Everybody likes a good joke.
They do.
If it's a good joke, it's a good joke. Doesn't matter what it's about.
On that one. So in terms of, it comes to your writing. I know for me sometimes it comes in chunks. Like I said, so right now you're saying you do melodies first. So usually you pick up the guitar first, and then you start kind of playing around with that, and then maybe lyrics come. You go on your notes, you see lyrics, you start piecing them together. That's what you do. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Okay. And then when a song comes together, what is that feeling like? When you go, okay, I found the mixture. I poured in the melody and the music, and I poured in the lyrics, and here's a song. What does that feel like?
For me, it's not as much of an exciting answer. I hate to break it to you, but for me, it's always coming together until it gets mastered. And then it's like, oh no, what did I forget to do? What could I have done better?
Oh, okay.
It's like for 1 hour while we're mastering it, or for however long it takes, it's awesome. It's like, wow, I did this. Yes. And then once it's locked in, it's that, oh God. So it feels good. Honestly, the process for me is awesome. I love the process. And honestly, I love the second guessing part too, because I learned from it. There's always something to be learned.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And also, when you listen back to your older work, it's actually a timestamp of where you are.
Exactly. Yep.
Nobody comes up the gate, with perfection or anything. It's just it's completely. That's where I was at that time. That's still your child. It's still your baby you gave birth to, and then now you may have better babies. I don't know what the word is. So, better children. I don't know. It's gonna be, you mess with those, you get some better children later.
Anywhere from 40 to 100 children.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
Also, I just realized my name on this stupid Zoom thing, the first time I ever did it, I accidentally did Brandon with an S instead of a D. And now it won't auto switch it back. And my name was spelled wrong this whole time.
Well, and I wasn't really looking at it because it comes up occasionally. It doesn't stay up when you're talking. It just comes up, I think, when it switches back to you, and then it flashes off. So, folks, it's Zachbrandon.
Yeah.
It's just real life, people. I can't do anything about that, but it's just real life.
Yeah.
We're at folks know that we're at home. We're not, all those TV shows everybody's at home. This is like,
so for you, I could be Zachbrandon. For whoever needs me to be, I could be Zachbrandon.
Exactly. Just buy my music.
Yeah.
Stream it. It's fine.
Be emotionally touched by it.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. So this album, what's first of all the name of the album, and then how'd you describe it in a few words to people? This album.
The album's called Sand and Stone, and it's from a lyric from one of the songs. The song is called Dear Dad. It's very emotional. I cried a lot when I first wrote it. And I'm not like that. I'm very emotional, but I don't cry a lot. And I couldn't get through it. The first probably 10, 15 times I tried playing it. But yeah, so the album's called Sand and Stone, and I describe it as, I've been calling my style neo-vintage, which I'm sure makes sense after you said the Eagles.
Yeah, it does. Neo-vintage. I like that.
Yeah, I
just wrote it down. Neo-vintage. I like that.
Like if you took a band from the 70s and they recorded today.
I like that. Okay.
Like high fidelity and
yeah.
But the whole album was organic. All the drums, every single drum part was in the studio, drummed, and the bass was real. And but I don't know. I don't know if I've never been good at these. If you had 3 words to describe yourself.
But see, I didn't say 3 words. I said shorts. But I mean, give it. You're gonna get used to it. So organic.
And old school and honest.
I like that. That's good. Those 3 words. It's 4 words. 3 words. Old school. The 3 words. I'm not good at math.
Give me a hyphen there. Give me a hyphen.
I'm not good at math, so I'm like, that's 3 words. Like that. But that's good. That's a good way to describe it. I like neo-vintage. I like that. It does work. It does work. And folks, he gives great hair. I want to tell you, when I went on your website, I was like, this dude gives great hair. And that says stuff. People like great hair. They do.
I actually just got a haircut. It's pretty short, but it'll grow back. My hair.
I was saying, it looks like you can grow hair. It looks like you have no problem growing hair at all. At all. So, I can talk to you forever. So as we're wrapping up, I'm like, what do you see? In your opinion, right now everything's on hold, so to speak. So basically, are you doing anything online? Are you playing? Everybody's going online nowadays and doing stuff. Are you talking to fans? Are you playing music online?
I am talking to fans. Whoever wants to message me, I'm very accessible. I want to always be accessible, as a side note. But yeah, I'd like to get on Instagram lives, maybe with some people, some other artists. That would be really cool. But yeah, I'm writing a lot, and I'm putting out a new song actually, May 21st or 22nd, whatever that Friday is.
Yeah. Is there a name of the song you can say yet, or?
I'll Tell Everybody I Don't.
I like that.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's very exciting to be putting out my second song and keep pushing on. And I will say it's a really weird time for artists and for musicians, especially people that don't have a world platform. But I think that if we remain optimistic and we continue as if life is the same, even though it isn't, I think we can get to a happy place. I don't think the world's ever going to be the same after this. I'm watching the the Michael Jordan documentary. I don't know. And I'm on the first episode, and Michael Jordan like shook hands with someone, and I was like,
Isn't that funny? No, isn't that
you
weird?
know,
I know.
so weird.
I know.
And like I'm seeing old pictures on Instagram of like I'm like doing my whole looking at people's Instagrams and I see like all these pictures of like 6 of their friends. I'm like, whoa, like weird. So I don't know how the world's gonna change, but all I know is that we have to listen to the guidelines of the scientists. We have to pay attention to our surroundings and stay safe, but stay optimistic and find a way to get comfortable and happy here instead of waiting for it to get back to normal. So I think if we can keep doing that, and I'm trying to do my part by putting out more music and trying to just stay connected to everyone. And yeah, I just hope everyone can be optimistic.
Well, I'm a new fan. So I hope this is the first of many interviews as your career goes up, up, and up.
Thank you very much.
I can say I knew you when. I knew him when. And so then you go. I think you're gonna be big. You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it.
I really hope so. That would be a really great.
You're going to do it. So Zachbrandonofficial.com is the website. He's also on. I know he's on Spotify. I'm following him there now. Tell folks where they can find you on social media other than what you.
My Instagram is it's Zachbrandon. And like, hey, it's Zachbrandon.
Zachbrandon.
And so is my Twitter. You said my internet
website and Spotify. It's Zachbrandon.
I don't know what you would do about like. I think it's just look me up, Zachbrandon.
I mean, I also believe you're on Facebook, Zachbrandon.
Yeah.
And then you have YouTube channel too, right?
Yes. If you look up Zachbrandon, you'll find me on YouTube. Yes. And yeah, just make sure to follow me. Most of my stuff is on like Instagram and YouTube and Spotify. To follow me, it's really important so you could get the notifications when stuff's out and stuff. If you want, no pressure. You
guys want to, and Spotify, and go on Spotify. Follow people on Spotify because it helps bring their music up and up. Algorithm about that. Trust me, I know.
think Spotify should make that button more accessible.
I know. I agree.
Make it like a bigger green button.
Yes. So I'm trying to get people to get. I have a SoundCloud page. I always play like, but Spotify, if you do like iHeartRadio, you want to make sure you hit them because it makes their stuff get more known. Yeah. As an algorithm that's about that. So. Yeah,
and honestly, people like a lot of music. It's just, it's you never know when new people put new stuff out if you don't know.
No, that's true.
So one easy way to do that is following artists, not just me, but make sure you follow the artists you love on Spotify.
I agree. I agree with you. I should agree with you on that. Follow music.
We should make it cool. We should make it a cool social movement.
Yes. Follow the music. Follow the music. Follow the music. Yeah. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. This was really cool.
My pleasure. And I'm James Lott Jr. And where can you find me? Where all James Lott Jr.'s are sold at James Lott Jr. and all social media platforms. Of course, I have a SoundCloud page, Spotify, all those different things. I'm everywhere. This podcast is everywhere where podcasts are streamed. So from iHeartRadio to Deezer to Spotify, Spreaker.com, Apple Podcasts, everywhere. Go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, share this if you feel like someone would like his music and wants to hear more about him. Share this podcast with them. And the video versions on my channel, JLJ Media, on YouTube. So go ahead, JLJ Media, like, subscribe, hit that little bell thing, and it tells you what's going on. And again, share with people you think may need to see this, of course. And then our Facebook pages, in between the pages with James Lott Jr. Go ahead and check out all the different people. I'll be posting his stuff on there. Make sure, I think I posted one of your videos on there already. And I'm going to I'll make sure you have links to his website and all that on there too. Now, everybody, sorry, go ahead.
I said, thank you so much.
Well, my pleasure, of course. And everybody out there, please, please, please stay safe as you can. And try to stay as sane as you can. I know it's a little rough out there, but try to stay as sane as you can.
And drink